First of all, you have the floor, madam.
Yes, it's working. Technology is a great thing. Thank you, President, Vice President Timmermans, colleagues, and in particular the shadow rapporteurs. I enjoyed our discussions and cooperation on this report on human rights and technology, so thank you very much. And in addition, I would like to thank the people from all over the world who have shared their input and suggestions. Many did so online, and they have made the draft text that we have voted on in the Foreign Affairs Committee and will vote on tomorrow in this House a lot stronger. I think crowdsourcing works. Technological developments have major impact on human rights, both to advance them and to restrict them. They can advance access to information, freedom of expression and association, but also the documentation and sharing of human rights abuses or uncovering of corruption have benefited from mobile phones and access to the open internet for more people. Disaster relief, aid efforts, election monitoring, they increasingly rely on technologies to help emancipate and empower people. However, technological systems can be and are also misused as tools for human rights violations through censorship, mass surveillance, tracking and tracing of individuals, unauthorised access to devices, jamming, interception, and a lot more. So besides technological specifications, the context in which ICTs are used determine to a great extent whether these tools advance or violate human rights. What country, which user or buyer, and what legal safeguards or democratic oversight are in place. These these contextual aspects should be assessed carefully in EU policies. More transparency and accountability in the market of the most intrusive and damaging technologies is key, both for security and for human rights. And this is too often presented as a false dichotomy between security and freedom, or actually justifying restrictions in people's rights and freedoms in the name of advancing security, when in fact they should reinforce each other, and at least EU-made systems should not be sold in an unrestricted market. Without smart policies, proliferation of these systems is inevitable. And in fact, I am sure that we here in the EU institutions, the European External Action Service, struggle to protect our own people, our own diplomats and our own information from the very same systems that we are discussing here. Intelligence services, criminal networks, hackers with bad intentions all can buy and use intrusive technologies that are made in Europe. And the credibility of Europe's foreign policy is undermined directly when an Italian company unjustly gets a licence to sell to Sudan or Russia, or when a French company sells digital keys to open any door, even the ones we may think are protected or locked by passwords or much stronger measures. But much worse, human rights defenders in Mexico, Azerbaijan, Colombia, Egypt, Turkey, Iran or Russia should be protected by EU policies and not harmed with the help of EU-made technologies. So concluding, EU policy should mainstream human rights in the way that technologies are designed and used, and it should streamline the role of technologies throughout all human rights policies. And this report presents many concrete ideas. One of the strong recommendations is that there should not be a ban on encryption technologies or a requirement to hand over the keys. Instead, we, through our EU policy, should train and equip journalists, human rights defenders and others facing repression and violations with the knowledge and the tools to protect themselves and their communications. Europe has the opportunity and should have the ambition to be a global leader in ensuring technologies benefit human rights, and of course this is only possible if we lead by example. Thank you.